Yo, Revolver here, and welcome to the 40th episode of the Ayaka Progression Series. I was thinking of what I could talk about in this episode, and recently I saw and felt that there was some kind of confusion behind what I want to do on my account and not. Therefore, I kinda want to take the time to explain and clarify that. So first of all, I'm more casual when it comes to my gameplay. I don't dive deep into the numbers. To me, what matters when it comes to the gameplay is to have fun playing the character or not, and not how efficient the character is. One of the main reasons why I wanted to main Ayaka before she arrived was because she had the one game mechanic that I loved the most. That is the infusion of the weapon with an element, and in my opinion, Ayaka still does it the best and in my preferred way. She just has to dash and has already cryo infusion on her katana. She doesn't need to use an E or gain energy to unleash a burst, where she goes into a mode that has drawbacks when you switch that character out. If you have Ayaka, you would exactly know what makes her as strong as she is. And that is her burst. Most of her damage comes from her burst, and her ability to be able to swap her that easily makes her so great as a burst DPS. But even so, that was not one of the main reasons why I wanted to main her. Don't get me wrong, I love Ayaka's burst, it has such a gorgeous animation, and the concept and idea behind it are really cool. That she pretty much turns her katana into much smaller ice sakura paddle blades to unleash a blizzard storm. Shout out to Byakuya from Bleach. It was mainly really because of her very quick and swift normal attacks and her charged attacks, with the way how they animated her attack patterns that it looks like she is wielding a katana. And her ability to infuse it with cryo, where she has pretty much 100% uptime. Ayaka is not the only character I like, but as an example, Yunjin. I like her a lot in the aspect of what she provides with her gameplay, and I just like her overall. To me, not only the gameplay matters, as you can guess by now. Apart from Ayaka, she is the only character I have triple crowned or even crowned at all. And if you watch the Progression series a lot, you would have noticed that I also play Yunjin all the time. But Yunjin doesn't provide me as much value for Ayato and especially Ayaka as for someone like Yoimiya. I think Ayato can get much more value from other supports than Yunjin. But I like her, and that's why I'm still gonna play her in the Abyss. And in lot of instances, she really isn't that helpful in Abyss. But I don't care, because it is fun to play her, and if we can't clear the Abyss together, then I'm not gonna bother with it. And this is where we get to the second point. I don't really care about the Abyss that much. When I do the Abyss, most of the time I just do it once. Get between 450 and 550 Primogems, and then just don't bother with it anymore. I mean, sometimes there are times where I'm more into the mood for it, but lately I just don't feel like it. I don't have the FOMO to get all the Primos from Abyss. They lock Primogems behind difficulties, at least in the Abyss, and then say we don't want to stress our players with more Abyss stages. Absolute bullcrap. Anyways, I don't think it's worth it to pull for a character that costs me around 28k Primogems that I'm just gonna use for the Abyss. What, twice a month for about 20 minutes of gameplay? Probably even less if you have the most efficient team, and then pretty much don't even use them for anything else. Well, probably not, but still, like almost never. And that you don't even enjoy or like that much, just to get 50 to 150 more Primogems. Obviously, I know that there are also a lot of people who don't care about the Primos at all, which just like to be able to achieve the clear in the abyss and that like to improve in their efficiency in gameplay. And that is for them very enjoyable, and I can 300% get that. To me that is very understandable. Also, that doesn't mean I'm not interested in playing the meta at all. As long as I have fun with the meta, then I'm gonna play it. The perfect example is literally Ayaka. Efficiency is always great, and I'm glad that Ayaka turned out to be such a great character when it comes to gameplay. But if I don't have fun with it, then I'm not gonna bother. That doesn't mean I hate it. I don't know why some people jump to such conclusions when someone is just more casual. I still like to build my team as competitive as possible. It's just that I prioritize fun over efficiency, and that's it. Another example would be, I don't play as much Yu-Gi-Oh as I used to. In Yu-Gi-Oh there's most of the time a definitive meta. And the deck that I play is not meta. It's a much lower tier. But I enjoy it a lot. And if I'm able to defeat a meta deck with my favorite deck, for me that is even more satisfying than winning with a meta deck. There are times where I enjoy certain meta decks and even played them. But playing with my favorite deck is still the most fun for me. Therefore, I try to build it in the most efficient way, that I'm able to play against the meta. To play with what you have and get the most out of it is for me a super fun process. So it's really not like I don't have the challenging spirit at all. I wanted to main Ayaka at the start because she resonated the most with what I enjoy and like. I wanted to focus on her until someday there's someone who fits me even more. But especially with time passing while playing her and learning more about this character, but also what this character brought to me, she became my favorite. I have a video that explains much better why I like Ayaka and does much more justice on that. I'll link it down in the description. Anyways, that's also how I feel about Yunjin or Ayato. Some things grow over time and then become irreplaceable. That is at least my experience. And I don't talk even from the aspect of Genshin, but in general. So, what the hell am I trying to say here? I don't want Kazuha, I don't want Shenhe, I don't want Kokomi. Yes, they might be the best team for Ayaka, but from a meta perspective. It's not like Hoyoverse said, you have to play them with Ayaka, or that they are meant to be played together. They just happen to have a really good synergy between them when it comes to the gameplay. But that doesn't mean I have to play them. As I tried to explain previously, I want to play the characters I like. I even have Kokomi and Shenhe on my second account Playmaker. But very quickly I started to realize that I wanted to play my same old characters again. I still like them though, but I guess not overall. And to me, there really is no need to get them. Because if I want to increase the power of my team, I could also play instead C2 Xingqiu or C6 Sucrose. The funny part is that I instead play Barbara and Sayu. So there is really no need for me to get Kazuha or Kokomi. I mean, obviously they are not the same characters and have their own unique abilities and traits. But by now, I really think I have everything I need to clear the abyss. I'm just not using that everything. Especially because we F2P need our time to save our primos. I don't want to use my primos on characters that I don't even want. By now I just have my favorites that I'm satisfied with. So I don't feel the need to replace my favorites with the best team for Ayaka. I just want to play with my team that I've learned to love. And I'm sure that Ayaka also doesn't care about having compatible team members, but rather that she has some companions around. Also, if I play Ayaka either way all the time, why shouldn't I get her a R5 Missplitter? That's why I kinda prioritize getting the R5 Missplitter over someone like Sino. Even if it wasn't for the Prog series, I still would have gone for the Refines. Ayaka will always be my most played character, so it makes sense for me at least to go for R5. Right now, Cyno is the only one from the limited banner that I'm interested in, and I'm not gonna save up for something that I don't know anything about. I mean with that Fontaine characters. So who knows, maybe I will save up for him in the future, but it's still up in the air. I hope I could somehow clarify my intentions in my decisions. I have a very hard time explaining stuff because my thoughts wander from one point to the next very quickly. And I forget all the time that I'm known for being a complicated person. That's also why I have a hard time to do shorter videos. I just always have to explain a lot to get my intentions across. But even then I feel I didn't make it any justice. So I hope my explanation wasn't as complicated. To me, at least it makes sense, and I hope it does to you too. Everybody has a different concept of fun. Casual or meta, it doesn't matter. As long as we can relate to why we have fun in what we do, that is already enough to understand each other. That's it. Stay safe, guys. See ya.